Hey, what's up? Josh and Rachel. JR Food and Travels. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. Just going to create some vector graphics tonight and see how that goes. It's a little different from the last stream that I did. Are you hearing me okay?
Hey, what's up?
Seems like it's working from my side. Just working on some general like vector graphics that I can use in other artwork. I'm trying out a new program too. It's called Clip Studio Paint. It has been my favorite for actual drawing, so we'll see how it goes for this. It does allow you to create vector graphics, which is cool, but I'm currently creating raster images and then I'm going to vectorize them later. And there's a couple ways that I could do that. I could go, awesome, cool, thanks, man. I could go through Adobe Capture and capture them that way, and that'll just convert them straight into a vector. And as long as they're these black and white images, it should be fine. So let's just make a few. I did do a little bit of preview just to get some ideas for things I might want to try and draw. You saw I just did a hatchet as a sort of a test, but these are sort of the ideas that I had, and then we'll see where I go from there, and then maybe we will maybe we'll make some designs, maybe not. I was thinking after the last stream that it really makes more sense to do things like this where I'm not actually giving away my yeah, Up Late Gaming's here. There I'm not actually giving my designs away or my niches away, and I can still do things that I can eventually use. So that's kind of how I'm going to handle this tonight. I'm just going to create some vector graphics, and then let me know in the comments down below if there's anything I made that you thought was good or that you were interested in, and I will potentially be able to make those available through the website or something. So that being said, we're just going to jump in. I made the one hatchet already. I was going to look for some more source images and sort of create some more. And I can just show you really quickly the way that I went about doing it is I just found an image and kind of trace over it to create a vector graphic. So this is sort of the end result. Now this is awfully big compared to how it would normally be used. It would be much smaller. So as you can see, it came out pretty good. Not too, you know, I'm not too unhappy with how that turned out. So oops, not what we want to do. I want to move that bad boy and get going on the next one. So we'll just do that. There we go. So one down, and we'll see how many more we can get through. Oh, hey, Rachel. All right, so let's see. Any ideas? Anything you guys want me to draw? I was thinking like one of those like old-fashioned lanterns would be kind of cool. I'm just finding a source image here really quickly. And this one looks like it'll work. So I'm just going to copy that right off the web and then put it on my... Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can name these layers too. Again, first time using this program, so I'm not awesome at it just yet. Oh, there it goes, layer 3. So this is my drawing layer. And I could break up every drawing into a different layer. I just don't necessarily want to go that far with it. So this layer, I'm going to go ahead and just delete that layer and create a new one right there. Yeah, there's nothing on that one currently, nothing on that one currently. And then I have a background layer that's just white here at the bottom. So I'm just going to go to, turn that off for now. That's the one we're going to draw on though. Let's put it on this one. So I'll just copy it in. And then we need to move it where we want it and make it bigger. which I'm not sure I know how to do. So that'll be interesting. Made the selection bigger, didn't make the actual thing inside bigger. Let's see. The other thing I can do is just zoom in, which might be easier for now, so let's just do that. Like I said, I'm going to vectorize these later anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so I'll just kind of go in kind of close, and then sort of move it to the middle. And we can start drawing. Alright, so I'm going to use a pen. I've just been using this really simple one, and we'll see kind of how it goes. I'm not sure this one. Just trying to do a little bit bigger for the outside lines, and then getting a little bit smaller as we get inside. I kind of want to change the opacity on this layer. Oops, what did I do there? That's moving it. Let's see. Yeah, that's my opacity. I'm not sure what it's doing though. Oh, I got two versions. I copied it in twice. So what other layer is it on? That one. Alright. So we can get rid of this layer. And we can change the opacity on this one. Just makes it a little easier to see where I'm drawing. Alright. So we'll go with that. I'll go with a 12 for my first side. Oh, now we need switch over to our drawing layer and go back to black. Alright. This layer we don't want. There we go. Alright. Seems a little big. I'm just really just tracing these. Got a little fat on this end. I'm going to try and do just a little slower. And it doesn't have to be perfect either. You can always go back and fix it later. We got kind of a curve around the front. We can do better than that. We can do better than that too. There we go. And then a curve around this bottom part here. And the cool thing about using these for t-shirts is, like, I'm probably going to distress this anyway. Like, I don't even care that it's not perfect. Definitely see the cap here. It doesn't have to match perfectly either. In fact, it's probably better if it doesn't, since I didn't take this picture. Oops. All right. Kind of making some progress now. And to be honest, like, I think kind of like the rougher it looks to a certain level, like the kind of the cooler it looks. I find that if you put a little bit too much detail on, you end up having, like, it's just a mess at the end, when really you just want to give people the idea of what the object is. You don't necessarily need to make it a perfect representation. I mean, after all, it's basically on a, it's going to be on a t-shirt. Doesn't really matter. Oops. All right. There we go. And I think these look kind of cool here. So let me just add some of these, a little cage around it. And that's really getting pretty close. You know what? I decided I want to change the size of the pen for the detail stuff. I'm going to go a little bit smaller still. I'm going to go like this. Yeah. I think that looks nice. There we go. And this would never be like by itself on a design. This would be something that would be like part of a larger design anyway. I think I want to erase the cap and then also do it in the finer size. Oops, there we go. Just because it's a little added detail. I'm a little surprised JNR Food and Travel's still awake. What are you guys doing up? I'm currently using so I have a drawing tablet here. I can maybe show you. It's basically a monitor that you can just completely draw right on the surface of. So that's sort of what I'm doing. I have two of these. I started off a long time ago with one that didn't have a screen, and it was I could show you actually. Here, hold on. So this is the first one that I got. It's a Huion, and it's sort of the exact same thing except for there's no screen. So it still has a pen just like this, and you draw directly on it. And I just really never got into the fact that I had to look at the monitor and I wasn't looking at where the pen was or what my hand was doing. So eventually I decided to upgrade and get this this tablet with the screen, which I know some folks online think is cheating, but to me it just makes it a heck of a lot easier, sort of to actually draw with. See, I'm not sure about that one. It's sort of like behind. There we go. And you could work on some like highlights or anything like that. Instead of making it kind of an outline, you could definitely fill it in and then add some of the highlights. You can kind of see in the image here, like where the highlights are, just from where the light is shining. So it wouldn't be that hard to go through and do that. It's just not something I'm going to do on this particular one. So let's go ahead and zoom back out. We'll put this with the first one and then look for something else to draw. So there we go. Oh, I guess I can show you guys what the end result looked like, huh? Let me just turn off the sample layer and zoom back in real quick. And now that I see it this way, I kind of want to add a couple more lines here, just to show the bottom of the globe. Because this part here is the globe. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let me zoom back out. We'll move that one. And look for another one. Yeah, seems smart. So you can see what you're drawing the other way. You just have to be looking at the screen, and then your hand is down below. And yeah, I don't know. I found it like a lot harder. So what do you guys want to see next? Any ideas? You are awake and focused on t-shirt sales. Nice. How have the t-shirt sales been anyway? I've been having a pretty mediocre November. Like October was amazing, and you'd think that it would be ramping up because of all the folks who are shopping for Christmas, but it has been slower. I mean, still making consistent sales. I'm making at least a sale a day, and I had 3 the other day, but it's not quite what I was expecting. All right, so that's a lantern. We could do another style of lantern, or we could go on to do something else. What are you guys thinking? You want to do... I'm going to delete that layer again, or maybe I can just delete the image off of the layer. Don't need to save that anymore. How about... oops, wrong screen here. How about a wall tent? Oh, there's some cool tents. Sometimes you want like kind of the simplest thing though, because if you try to get too complicated, it looks a little weird. But let's go ahead and try this one. This one's a pretty cool tent. We'll copy it over here in just a second. Grab my snipping tool. See if I can get it. Oh, not like that. I can't. There we go. Make sure I'm on the right layer. I really need to learn the hotkeys to make these bigger. It just changes the selection. There we go. Scale tool. All right, we'll go back to our drawing layer. I'm going to change the opacity here. Oh, would I put it on the wrong layer again? All right, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to copy that, or let's cut that, and put it on this layer. And we'll just label it so I don't do this again in the future. We'll call this the source image. And I will go ahead and paste it in there. There we go. And then I want to change the opacity on that layer. Oh, I still didn't put it on the right one. All right, we'll just delete this layer. It's fine. There we go. We'll go back to our drawing layer and just make another one. Nothing like October. Still a few a day. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. All right, we'll see how this one turns out. It's a complicated tent as far as tents go. I might even just simplify it as I'm drawing. But let's go into it and just see how it turns out. All right. 19 sales in the last 7 days. You're killing me, man. You're doing way better than I am. It has a little bit of a sway to it. Just don't want to exaggerate it too much. I do like the chimney though. Oof. 35 this month? That's not bad at all, man. There's nothing wrong with 35 sales. I'll have to look here in a minute. I'll tell you how many I've had. I'm going to zoom in. I actually don't like how this one's turning out. I think I need to go with a beefier line to begin with so that I can do detail later with something else. So I'm going to start that one over. And I'm going to go up to like 17. Yeah, that's going to look a lot nicer. And it's okay to make them a little more stylized too. I don't need to recreate this exact tent, right? Yeah, 35 this month is awesome. Trying to get the structure here without doing too much. I had a tent like this for a while. Man, that thing was a nightmare to put together. Got it on eBay when I was in college. I always wanted a wall tent. Turns out there's a reason why people don't really use them anymore. They're actually a nightmare. Alright. Let's switch now to like a 12. And we'll just sort of get the door in there. I'm going to kind of take some license here and make that a little bit of a gap. And then bring that all the way to the top. What, the tent? Yeah, oh no. It was not easy to use, that's for sure. I'm tempted to leave off these little lines because they're not really going to add anything once you get the once you take the image from behind and you're not trying to recreate something real anymore. You don't really need the these little ropes that are holding the thing up. Sort of beyond the point. Actually, I think I'm going to get rid of... That's little. Oh, that's big. Get rid of that as well. Just sort of give it the hint of this texture or the wrinkles and not really like make it quite so true to the image. Yeah, you guys are snobs when it comes to camping, huh? Camping can be as comfortable as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. Or food. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not gourmet usually when you're camping, but I mean, when else are you gonna eat s'mores? It's like one of the few times my wife will let me eat hot dogs. Or bratwurst as a meal, you know? I'm struggling with how to add to this one. Let's see what it looks like. So it actually didn't erase very well. And he's cleaned up. I think this line doesn't really do anything for it. So just starting with the source image and then cleaning it up works pretty good, if you ask me. Let's go back to something over here and we'll make this a little bit nicer. I'll just leave the hint that it's open a little bit, maybe. Let's see here. I'm just going to look at some other source images and just see how people kind of shade these. A lot of them not really shaded much at all. Yeah, there's a lot of this in the corner. I don't know, what do you think? Does that look better or worse? That one doesn't look good. Yeah, I got a fire pit too. I don't think it needs a lot. I think maybe cleaned up just a little bit in here. Maybe a little bit more to these lines makes them look better. Oof. Alright, let's see here. You should try to do this with the pen tool and try to, create graphics. And I find that this is so much easier for me. I just have to go back and erase on this part. I think I found out what I want to do, but it's just I'm not quite getting it. Don't mind that one, except at the top there. Alright, let's try this again. I used to buy these vectors and I was like, man, how hard can this really be to like just make your own? And it's not that hard. It is not that hard. Especially because, like, I mean, I'm really, if you look at these, just tracing. I mean, I might add a little detail that isn't there, but anyone can trace, right? Alright, let's do this one more time. I think we got how we want it to go. I kind of want it to taper into this. Yeah, more like that. Chasing Amy? Oh yeah, I've seen Chasing Amy. You guys watching that right now? I actually really like that movie. I think that's probably pretty good, guys, for this one. Again, if you zoom out, I mean, there's definitely more we could do to it, but I mean, if it's just a small part of a bigger design, then I think that's fine. Alright, let's go back to this layer. Oops, need to turn that off. There we go. And we can get rid of this guy and find a new one. Alright. Well, of course you're watching me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. You should watch an inking video. I've watched a few. And, there's a lot more to it than you think. But, yeah, there's a lot of tracing. They have dudes who just are the inkers. Like, that. Their whole job is to just draw over the lines that are already there. Yeah. I can't remember if that's what the deal was in Chasing Amy. But, yeah, definitely for sure a thing. Should we do a different kind of tent? Or do you think we should move on to something new? This one's kind of unique. I'm gonna grab this one too, and we'll just do another one. It also looks like a nightmare to set up, but that's okay. Look at me learning how to use the tools. Oh. Every time I paste, it creates a new layer. That's what's happening. I want to paste it on this this copy, but then it pastes it, makes a new layer right above it, and I end up having to redo the opacity anyway. Alright, zoom in on that guy. We'll see how this one turns out. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, I love that movie in like high school. Aging myself, I guess. Oh, but Rachel was there. She should know. All right. This is a little more complicated. I guess we'll kind of see how it turns out. Because we're definitely going to have to simplify it. I already went with too thin of a line, so let's bulk that up. Get these outside lines first. And then you can see there's kind of a change in the coloration here, but it also looks like there's a ridge. So I'm gonna definitely do that. And this one. Did you guys just recently watch that? Is it a zing? Really? Like, aren't you just kind of proud of your age at this point? I just realized I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. I'm even going to go a little bigger too. Like, I really don't feel bad about being 41. It just doesn't like, this doesn't bother me. Like, would I even want to be 21 again? I don't know. My liver was definitely in better shape. But at the same time, like, I was broke as hell. Sure wasn't doing any good trips. I wasn't traveling anywhere like you guys. Oops. Oh, you can definitely clean that up. That's some detail lines I shouldn't even really be adding. I'm going to simplify that a little bit too. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Josh, you're well on your way, my man. Don't worry. And Rachel, I'll be 42 before you know it. We'll see how this one turns out. I don't know, just because it's got an interior, like if that's gonna jack with me later, if I'm gonna not like it and want to use it. We'll see. We'll see how it looks once I get it all done. Yeah, I don't know. You think I'm in better physical shape? I don't know. I went through a running phase in my early 20s too. I got pretty skinny. I was definitely not. I'm definitely in better shape now. You're right. You're right about that. think I want to add this ridge and this size pen, and then switch for detail to a littler one. Oops. Don't normally do the shadows. We'll see how this one turns out. Actually, I want to get rid of that wrinkle if I'm going to do that. Go a little bigger. I don't know. I don't know if that's better or not. What do you guys think? All right, let's see. Let's see what we think. I really think it turned out pretty good. I think it turned out pretty good. I could definitely do a little better on this section here. Alright, let's clean up. And, clean up this guy. Just a bit. It's kind of nasty when you get this close. This isn't a vector drawing program, so a lot of that would be really easy to clean up. One, either go over it one more time once you have it drawn, or when you vectorize it, you can just clean up a lot of this. There we go. We're way too zoomed in, so we can zoom back out and kind of see. At this distance, it looks pretty damn good. There's a paint bucket tool I could be using instead. Probably would make things a little simpler on me. There we go. You think it looks good? All right. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. So let's get that one out of the way. And then I guess I'm just going to delete this layer now since it doesn't seem to matter. What else you guys think we should do? Let's grab another picture. Or you could tell me off of this which one you think looks cool. Could certainly do more tents. Maybe some mountains would be good. Probably should do some mountains. Let's see what we can get if we just go with the mountain range and try and draw. Sometimes when I've tried to recreate like actual mountains, it ends up looking really crappy, and when you just make up a mountain, it comes out a lot better. But we'll try this. Alright, so let's paste this in. Yeah, create a new layer. New selection to move it back down here, and then we can make it big. Alright. Now we can zoom in and change the opacity down. I like the really stark contrast on this one of the shadows. That's sort of why I picked this one. So let's go ahead and see what we get here. Go back to our drawing layer. And pick our ink pen. We'll go with maybe a 17. I'm going to start right here. This little one on the left hand side, I don't know, it just looks like it almost doesn't fit. I want these to look hand drawn, so I'm actually good with most of the little imperfections that I come from drawing this. Like I want it to look like it was hand drawn. I think we're gonna go either zoom in or go with an even bigger pen. We're going to zoom in, and we'll just start that over with a little bit bigger pen. I feel like that last one doesn't look like jagged enough. I'm just pushing too hard now. My line is getting too big, but it's my own fault. Well, there I followed the shadow rather than the actual mountain. There we go. We got some littler peaks in front. Not sure how far back to start this one. might be good as far as details go. Let's see. There's just one big one in front too. Let's see what it looks like if I draw this one on, because they all connect. It's not so bad. Alright, let's switch to a smaller one. Oh, Campfire? Alright, we'll do Campfire next. That's a good idea. Alright, so going smaller. Let's add some details here. I think I like them all starting from in the black, not just hanging out there on their own. There we go. I do know what you mean. I definitely do. Alright, let's just go ahead and sort of grab some of these shadows. Let's see how that looks. I feel like I need something to bring it all together at the bottom. I guess we'll see how it turns out. Oops. Campfire was a good idea. I had planned to do one, I just forgot. Alright, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take off a lot of these little details. I do want that one. And I'm going to erase a little bit over here. I think I'm going to try a different technique for the shadows, rather than these lines. All right. Yeah, that was quite a sweater. And it wasn't even like an ugly Christmas sweater. It was just a regular old sweater. How's that look? Which part you don't think is gonna work out? The lines? You think a few straight ones? Yeah. Alright, here's what we should do. Alright, let's just take off the picture of the mountain and see what it looks like. Well, this part right here is a mess, but I kind of think it looks cool. You not into it? Or you think I should do just a few straight lines? You like that better? I should, huh? I also think that I overdid it on the amount. Like, I think this could probably go. And probably that would be enough. I'm not sure about the lines though. That part I don't know. Oops. How did I end up erasing there? There we go. Lots of cleanup to do in here. Well, I like the simplified mountain. How about this? I guess if I was going to do it this way, I need to start over from the beginning. Yeah, removing the extra lines I think was good. I'm not sure I need the lines at all though. Oops. that's better. I did like this one though. Could always do both. I don't know. Too busy? Yeah, too much. Alright. So here's what I've decided. I like the silhouette of the mountain, but I'm not necessarily sure I like any of the shading parts. So let's fix that part. I kind of like that one. Not gonna lie, this one has been a little bit longer than I intended to spend on it. These right over here. Are those the ones you're talking about right there? Or should I actually, you know what? What if I took out this whole bottom section? Does that just make it like cleaner and easier to see what's going on? And then we'll just simplify this over here. Let's get a bigger eraser. I like that line, but we're going to redraw it. And that one. Yeah, you can use plugins in Adobe Illustrator. Now, this is Clip Studio Paint. I'm not using Adobe Illustrator tonight. I have been trying to switch away from it to some sort of program that is one-time fee and not a monthly. So I am trying out Clip Studio Paint. Now, I am just creating like graphics as a template right now. So like we've been doing this for a while. I created a couple of tents, a lantern, and a hatchet. So, yeah. What kind of plugins were you thinking about adding? I mean, definitely you want to buy them from a reputable place. You know, you don't just want to install whatever you find. But yeah, there's lots of plugins for Adobe Illustrator. So definitely get something you like. You can see when I zoom in that this is all raster images. This isn't a vector. Clip Studio can do vector, but usually you draw in raster and then go over it. Basically do the inking stage one more time once you like the way the drawing looks and create a vector out of it. And Clip Studio will do that, but I don't do complete designs in Clip Studio unless they're all graphical. If I'm going to do like a combination of text and graphics, I will go over to Affinity Designer. There's probably a much easier way to do this. Yeah, Colorist is a good one. Yep. Yeah. I use Pinterest a lot for color palettes. I think it's an easy place to go just to find color palettes other people have created. I have the hardest time with picking out colors that look good together. Like I'll definitely be able to pick like the first color, something that I think looks good, and then after that I'm like, well, I don't know how to pick what goes with this. So I have switched kind of exclusively to using pre-selected color palettes that I find from someone else. And there's a lot of cool Pinterest or Instagram accounts that just post those kinds of things, because I know a lot of people have trouble with that. I also use a plugin for Chrome called Colorzilla that I think is a pretty good one. And then you can grab colors from anywhere on the web. It's this one right here. Well, oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. I would have been nervous about that too. You like where this is going better, Josh? Nice. Do you think it needs shading at all? Or should I just leave it as a... Should I just bolden up these lines? Make it a little bit... Like kind of go a little bit more into this. All right, sounds good. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure how much longer I can go. Anyway, it gets a little bit tiresome having to talk while you do some of this stuff. But I'll hang out for a little bit. Thanks, guys, again for watching. I really appreciate it. And since this is for a t-shirt graphic, I just want to make sure it's nice and bold and easy to tell what's going on. But I want that hand-drawn look, so it's actually coming out pretty good. I'm just going to bold up the left-hand side and sort of give it the illusion. Good night. Give it the illusion that's the side that's in shadow. You want me to do a merch design? Yeah, we could maybe do that. My last stream, that's what I did, but I got to, like, I have my favorite niches that I like to create in, and I don't want to use those on the stream. So I felt a little weird about it. You know, creating designs that I wouldn't necessarily, you know, put up myself. So. Oops. Sometimes this pen just gives me a jagged line on the end. It is demanding. I agree with you on that. It is. And it's really hard to be creative on demand. That's why I'm just creating some of these vector graphics tonight rather than doing whole designs, because man, it's a lot harder to come up with something good when people are watching. At least I think so. But let's go ahead and we can call that one good. Let me zoom out. And we can go ahead and I feel like we could have improved this one a little bit, but let's go ahead and move it with the rest. So, how long you been on merch? Quite a while. I'm gonna jump over to, if I'm gonna make a design, let me save this and jump over to Affinity. I was doing a little bit of, I was thinking about doing some campers and whatnot a little bit later, maybe some campfires, but we could do a merch design really quick. You name the niche and I'll make a design. What do you think? What niche you want me to do? You got tiered up today? There were tier ups today? That's awesome. I saw that my uploads increased to 90 per day. I'm in tier 1000, and they upgraded to 90 per day, which is cool because you can add more products now, but I will never, ever create 90 new unique designs in one day. It's just crazy. All right. Let's see. I think I did research last time around. New Year or Christmas? Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me find... Here, you know what? I got an idea. Alright. Let's do... Let's do like a T-Rex with a Santa Claus hat on or something. Let me see here. I'm just trying to find a good source image on my other monitor just to go off of. And I want them kind of looking at the camera. You thinking like cartoon style, something like that? We could definitely do that. And then I gotta decide if I want cute or mean looking. Here, let's do this one. And when I do cartoons and stuff, things that other artists drew, like I'll look at it as a source image, but I'm not gonna trace it like I would with like a picture of a tent or a mountain or something. Just because somebody had somebody took the time to create this, so I don't want to steal it from them. But you can certainly learn from somebody else. And I saw this on a ugly Christmas sweater. It was like a repeating pattern of a T-Rex wearing a Santa hat. So that's sort of what gave me the idea. I kind of like this one, but I think maybe it's a little bit too like shaded and 3D, and maybe I want something a little more cartoon. Like a little bit flat, you know? So let's see. This one's not bad, though. I will say this one's not bad. Yeah, this one's kind of cute, too. So we'll just put both of them on here. And then create a new layer to work on, and that's the layer I'll actually draw on. And just so I know what's mine and what's not mine, let's change the opacity of that layer and delete this layer so it's empty, and then change the opacity of this layer to about 50 as well. And then we'll start drawing on this layer. And then we probably want to get a Santa hat picture too. Something like this. Because ultimately what we're going to do is create something like that, but you know, obviously it won't be. It'll be vector eventually. Actually, I need to be able to see the whole thing. There we go. And find that one. This is this layer. This layer on top, and that's the one I'll work on. All right. So I might try a mechanical pencil this time, just to see if I can get it kind of. How to tear up fast? Oh man. So the problem with tearing up. No, I don't use. I don't use free pick or Vexels, anything like that. I just don't want a problem with somebody uploading something to one of those free pixel sites and then it not actually being free. It could be re-uploaded from somebody else, and I'm not interested in copying. So no, that's not what I would do. I would draw my own, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So I will just switch over to a pencil, and we'll just sort of block this guy in and get going on a drawing. So I want to zoom in a little bit and move this where I can see everything, and then we'll start drawing. So these guys are kind of like rectangles for heads, and then we're gonna definitely refine this. All right, bad angle there. So big rectangle for his head, and then sort of almost in the middle is a smaller kind of rectangle for his neck. And then he has sort of a, looks like an oval. Kind of goes out to the middle of his head. Oops, what did I do? Somehow I switched. Can't draw. What did I do? Sometimes I hit one of the buttons on the pen, and then I'm really in trouble. But I don't know what's going on here. As far as tearing up fast, like really, like the secret to tearing up is that you have to have a better design than everyone else. So when when you ask if I'm using free picture or whatever, like absolutely not. And this is why. What the heck, man? Is it just too small to see? Try a bigger one. I guess. Oh, my color got changed to white. That's what happened. That happens to me all the time. I don't know why I didn't think of it. All right. This is blocking in. I'm not trying to get a final image here. I'm just blocking it in. And he's got like an oval here. And then he's got like definitely an oval here. And definitely an oval here. And then he kind of like has, you could even call that another oval. And then he has a point on his tail. And then they put his feet on. Feet are kind of like that. Something like that. Zoom out a little. And we'll go to a new layer, drop the opacity of this one, and sort of fit a drawing into this drawing. So, yeah, that's a good question. So, Merch by Amazon, if you ever, do you use the DS Amazon Quick View extension? You should do a search for something you know is popular sometime, and you will see that if Merch only put out the high selling designs, like if it would always be that the top design, the top left design on every search page would be the lowest BSR, but you know that that's not true, right? So use the DS Amazon Quick View, look at the different BSRs on the first page. You will frequently see shirts with no BSR on the first page, and that's because Amazon wants to find better designs too. It's good for them, right? It's good for them to find something that would sell better because then they sell more. So they definitely promote new shirts who have not been sold before on the first page, on the first 4 or 5 pages. You don't get a lot of chances though, so it's got to be a better design because you will only get a couple of chances if nobody clicks it, nobody buys it. That shirt is only got a couple of shots to make sales. It may over time get another chance, here and there, or someone might find it through one of the other keywords. And I've had shirts that don't take off for 2 years or something, and then all of a sudden they start selling, and you're like, "Whoa, I have no idea why that one's selling, but cool." But that's sort of just an example. Like, yeah, definitely look at the niche, see what is showing up on the first page, and if you're seeing designs on the first page that have no BSR, then you have a shot. So definitely check that out. All right, so let's see here. We're going back into drawn mode. So he's got like, for his head, he's got like kind of a bump for his eye, and then a bump over, and then another bump. And then his nose kind of comes through. He's got kind of a lumpy face, but it's pretty much round. And then he's got this big old eye, make him look really cute, right? And then they do these like little reflection eye circles as well. And then sort of like he's got sort of a like a double chin, so that one line goes all the way around, but then he's got another line that comes out sort of halfway through his mouth. Or I guess that becomes his mouth, doesn't it? And he's got another line that comes out kind of right here. From the back of his eye, he loops around. Kind of like this. His neck comes down over. His belly goes out, around, and then back underneath his legs. Oops. Getting a little messy in this area, so let's just get rid of some of it. Good keyword, high quality design. That is the key to merch in a nutshell. Yep. You do that, you will make lots of sales. Exactly. All right. And that's why I draw my own, right? Because if you draw your own designs, nobody can compete with that, you know? Most people, like you said, are using free pick sites, you know? And they don't even know if they have permission to use those, really. I feel like my legs are a little bit too small. Hey man, I started out not being able to draw anything at all. I mean, you start with what you saw me doing earlier, where you really just trace stuff, and you don't need an expensive tablet. Like I'm using kind of an expensive tablet, but this is the one I started with. This is just a Huion simple drawing tablet. Has no screen on it. You know, you just draw on top of it, and you can trace whatever you want. You can use pencil. You can use. I found it harder to learn, to be honest with you, to draw with pencil though, because you actually have to. Well, I broke that one. You actually have to be able to draw to use a pencil. With the mouse, the secret is to use the pen tool. I mean, that's just the only way you're gonna be able to do it. So I didn't put enough neck on this guy. I think his tail was too high too. And then you need some little arms. The fact that he only has 3 fingers is awfully nice too. Yeah, the mouse is tough. I agree with you. And we could put like one tooth or two teeth sticking out here too. All right, so that's that layer, right? So we kind of have an idea of where we want the body to end up. So that means we can start the inking. I could draw the hat too, I guess. So we just want to sort of have like a... And yeah, don't make me out to be some kind of crazy artist, because I am definitely not. I mean, I guess you'll see here in a minute. As long as it takes. Sometimes I do designs and it's not that hard, right? Like, I still do text designs. I still have lots of designs that sell or have like a very minimal graphic on them, But since you're challenging me, I decided I'd try to do something a little bit better. But yeah, if you are at the stage where you're still just making text designs, you can make a lot of money just selling text designs, All right, so now we need a new layer. And on this layer, we're going to switch back to ink. Let's see. I think the turnip pen is my favorite one here. I'm not sure about the size though, so let's just see. Oop, that was ugly. I mean, there's a lot of room in a text design to actually make the design good. You don't have to be limited to just white text and be the first one. So don't think that you can't, because you totally can find success with just regular text. Ooh. I'm struggling with this one. We're going to have to zoom in a little. And you can clean up all these lines later. I probably should have gone to a vector layer. You know what? I'm going to go back and do that. Yeah, there we go. All right. And everything I know about drawing is like, it's all stuff I just learned by watching YouTube videos. Part of the reason we go with a vector layer here is because we can go back later and we can change it any way we want. Yeah, for sure. You definitely have to do the uploading. That is true. I think I want his neck to be a little bit thinner. Ooh, that's ugly. Alright, let's try that one more time. Yeah, I'm going to fix that one too. That's better. Oh, I don't care if this one sells. That's the other thing. You just got to stop worrying about like, oh, is this design one that's gonna sell? You know, like you'll learn to like figure out what has a better chance. But ultimately, like merch is pretty saturated these days, and it just doesn't like you just can't predict it. Even good designs sometimes don't sell. I mean, good designs have a much better chance to sell, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. You're challenging me like crazy right now. And this one will have to be cleaned up like crazy later too. I hate the hand. Let's see. I'm going to do this again, but smaller. It's a little better. Alright, so we had kind of a shape like this. Ugh. Too different. The fingers are too different. Yeah, I did really long time ago. I did a double my sales in 30 days challenge. It actually went pretty good, but it's been a long time. think I need more room. I'm not liking this pen as much as I thought I would either. I'll zoom out and see. I think maybe it was the G pen that I like better. It just doesn't have a lot of variability in the size based on the pressure I'm using. It's like very, very, it's like a straight line. I was really hoping for something that would get a little fatter when I press a little harder. That one was almost right. There we go. We'll see how it turns out. Oops, I was going off the wrong line. I could change this one though. Feels a little small. Alright, let's turn off that background layer and see what we're working with here. He still needs a little work, but... oh yeah, he needs a lot of work. His feet are terrible. I hate the feet. Alright, let's turn off the... yeah, there it is. Oof. I'm going to erase this one. That just did not come out. And we're going to get rid of this too for now. Actually, I don't like this one either. Let's look at the example one again. These feet are very much round. More of a bump. Oops. Alright, so there's a lot of refinement that has to go on for this to like really come out good, so let's just fix it up. That looks better. Alright. Hey, if you need to go, you go ahead. This could be a while. And honestly, I've been on later than I meant to, too. I was going to get off about an hour ago. Alright. So I think that is probably pretty good. Let's just pick some colors here. Let's do a new layer. And oh, did I do a new? That's a new vector layer. Not sure that's what I wanted. Let's try this. Oops. Let's see. We want a new. Oh god, I'm using green. That's not something I wanted to fix. Should really zoom in. But hey, alright. Tell you what we'll do. I want to duplicate the layer. Let's see. I'll fix this too. That's better. Let's see. I usually color in this program, so I'm actually struggling a little bit to figure out how to color in it. Let's see, because I want to have just a regular fill, but I can't do it on that layer. Ah, there we go. Okay. That's actually, I don't really like that color. Maybe, yes, something more like that. And then we want, oops, to do turn that off. Turn off. Come on. Huh. Not sure how to unselect that now. Ooh. Oh, deselect. Okay, there's a button for that. All right, cool. Not sure why I'm not able to. Oh, I think I figured it out. Okay. So I switched to the color layer and I had to, I needed to switch back. So let me just go do that now. Now that I have the selection, now I should be able to fill it. Yeah, there we go. And same thing with the up here. And we want to go ahead and fill that too with that green. And then we want to grab his eyeball. His pupil, I should say. Right there. And we want to fill that with black. Oh, whoop, not on that layer though. There we go. We gotta grab his other hand. Holding down the shift key there just to grab all of it. Let's grab that same color and fill it. Oop. We want eyedropper that bad boy and then fill that. Cool. And then we did not create the hat yet, so we need to do that. We could also add some additional coloring on him. We could go back to this layer. I want to deselect, and then I could use the Lasso Tool just to create some, like, let me draw it, sorry. Some spots on him. And then go to our color layer and we'll go like with a dark, maybe even a brown. we'll fill those. And if we wanted to get really fancy, we could go over to like the spray paint tool and just sort of, we'll have to go grab another selection. We could go ahead and say grab like that, and then take our spray paint tool with that brown and just kind of hit the, oops, you know what, I don't want, that top part, so I held down the Alt key and clicked the white and it just deselected it. Now I can go back to my spray painter and I can just go kind of hit him on the back, give him a little bit of texture, kind of blend it. And we could go ahead and go back to this layer and deselect, kind of grab like the inside of his leg. But I want to add this part and remove that part. And we'll kind of give him some, we'll use that again, but we'll do a little bit darker green. So let's just grab that green, but then let's go with the spray paint and then go darker green and just kind of give him like some shading. There we go. Now we can give him some shading on the inside of his leg. Kind of makes him look a little bit better. Kind of do the inside. Oh, we didn't grab that selection though. I think he needs a little bit of something on his nose. Let's also grab the blur. See where I had that really fine line there? I'm not happy with that. So let's deselect and then just kind of blur in here. Ooh, that's really... It's a lot stronger than I thought it would be. Let's see if we can tone that down a little bit. Ooh, grab the white. See, the white is a problem. I'm just trying to take off the harsh edge there. I don't know where that white's coming from. Must be a little bit of white in between the black. And then we could give him a little bit of let's see, something maybe on his nose. Give him a little bit of that brown. Let's see. Oops. I'll go to this layer and then take the pen. Oh, that's that green. Grab the brown. And then just kind of give him some more little textures. Like that, and then we can grab those. Oh, I must not have it quite closed off. Let me zoom in here. Yeah, and it might also be that they're different colors, so it's not quite selecting where I want it to. Which we could definitely fix with a little black right here. Let's see. Yeah. So now we can grab that brown. My paint bucket. There we go. Alright, we still need to grab or draw a hat for him. So let's go. Oh, I don't want to turn that off. I'll turn this one back on. And create him a nice hat. Let's try that G pen and see if that's a little bit more what I had in mind for the next one. No, that's not going to be right. We want black for sure. And it does not have to be the right size because we can certainly resize it later. And we are just going to go ahead and do it like this. And we'll fill in that other section with red. We can move it though. Sometimes you still just want the mouse. Alright, let's see. Wrong layer, that's the problem. Don't need that one. Alright, there's the layer. I drew it on the color layer, which is going to be okay. So let's grab the inside. Oh, let's deselect, grab the inside. Oh, still on the wrong layer. Alright, now we should be good. Except I didn't grab it on a vector layer, which maybe is my issue. But I should still be able to just dump the color into it. So let's go pick a red. There we go. Now I should be able to grab the hat and move it. With the rectangle, there we go. Oh, got a big old selection. Alright, that's what I want. I'm going to move it onto my little guy. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to fill that with white, because right now these are transparent. It's a Santa hat. We need it to be white. Let's grab that, dump in there and there. Can't really tell the difference. Now let's move it. Yeah, that's better. Kind of want it to fit in between, and I don't know, maybe it's a little too big. I want his eye to stick out. So let's just say it was like right here. See, I really messed up putting it on the same layer. Let's see if I take my selection and cut it. Oops. Here, let's cut it now and put it on a different layer. Yeah, that's better because I want underneath. I just have to position it and then kind of get it where I want it. Alright, does that rotate, delete, shrink? I do think it's a little too big still, maybe. Let's see, then we gotta rotate like that, and then I'm gonna delete out the part where its eye is. Alright, I think that looks okay. But now we need to fix the eyeball. And it's on a layer by itself, so that's nice. So we can do the lasso tool probably, which is right here. And what I'm going to do is just trace inside the eye and then delete whatever's inside. Oops, I missed. Oh man. Alright, I'm going to do this with the pen. That's too hard. Alright, let's try that one more time. Now the eyeball and the dinosaur are not on this layer. So I should just be able to hit delete just the hat. His eyeball still comes through, and then we do need to fix that eye though, which is here. And you can see I could totally keep working on this as long as I had, obviously. Let's see. Oh, still erasing. I want it to be drawing with black. Like that. I mean, yes, it looks hand-drawn, but that's kind of what makes it cool, if you ask me. And then we'll just do on this layer. Well, maybe this layer? Oh, I'm not inside the selection. That's my issue. So let's go back to the dinosaur layer, and I want to add a little bit more black. Oh, what layer do I need to be on? Nope. There we go. There. Just like that. And I kind of think the little bit that's poking out here doesn't really do anything for us. What? That's the worst eraser ever. It's coloring black. Anyway, I think that's pretty close to as far as I would take this one. You know, it's not perfect, and I'm not an artist, like I said. I am learning and doing more and more all the time, but you know, that's a pretty good design as far as I'm concerned for what I try to accomplish on merch. Now, I would probably do a like a talking bubble said ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, something like that. But that's about as far as I would take it. And we can turn off these other two layers and the hat layer and kind of move that guy to the center. Oops. You know what I want to do? And I don't know if it's possible in this program, so we're going to try it. I want to kind of combine these two layers. Alright, well, might not be the time to figure this out, but I have selected both, so I should be able to still move everything. Oh, not everything though. Where this one as well. I'm still not getting the layer with the line work. It must be this one. But is there another one? It's on this layer. Don't know. Background. That's the line work. There we go. Finally got it. All right. All right, that's our guy. Now, what else could I do to like make him a little better? I could have put the little reflections in his eyeball. I think bulking up the line would definitely have helped too. I think I picked the wrong pen that I normally use because it should have a lot more variation based on how hard I'm pressing. But anyway, it's getting kind of late and I have to call it a night there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you with this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next video.